No Mercy Mondays in the Labyrinth. Start off with dips. Bodyweight dips warmed up, and then we put a little weight on. Went 25, did a couple sets, 50, did a couple sets. And my two working sets, 75 for a couple sets. Now, the real hero of this workout is the arm wrestling table for holding up. You know, because there's 400 pounds of pressure, 400 pounds of weight on this table. So thank you, little arm wrestling table, for holding me up and not dropping me. I appreciate it. I do think it's about time I get a something that's meant for dips, you know, because I plan on putting more and more weight on, and I think it's a matter of time before the little table that could becomes a little table that couldn't. So let's get back to the training. So now, after dips, did seal rows. Now I start off with the bar. The bar is 60. So what I do with the bar is I really focused on the isometric. I kept both sides of the bar on the bench and just squeezed the bar into the bench. I went 155 and then 245. Now I was planning on going way heavier. You know, I wanted to be around 400, 500 pounds for these. But my right bicep wasn't pain. I just bothered me a little bit. You know, because of the injury on my left, my right side is just getting a lot more work. It's not a problem. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for both sides, the right and the left. And it's only a matter of time before I forget that was even a problem. The only thing right now, that little injury in my left that really stops me from doing anything is finishing power. You know, the last maybe halfway down to the pin line. That's when it really bothers me, when I apply that side pressure. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing my first superset bodyweight dips. What I focus on the dips is I'll try to focusing on a big range of motion. And then after the dips, I went over to the seal row and I wanted to focus on the isometric hold. Now I tried very hard to keep both sides of the bar, the bottom and the lower, on the bench. But it's very challenging to keep both sides of the bar on the bench, because with this angle, when the bottom side is a regular row. You can touch the bottom with a regular row, but to touch the top with this angle of the bench, you need to be able to rise. You know, you need to be able to keep that high knuckle position. So it's a lot in the hand, it's a lot in the wrist. Even though I wasn't touching, I was still applying that force, and that's good. Now, back to supersets. What I did here, this is my first set. Isometric hold pull-ups on the monolift and straight into lat pull-downs. Now on these lat pull-downs, I'm not counting. I'm just going as many as I can until either fatigue or, you know, most of the time in this workout, it was my right bicep. Not a problem. That's just part of the game. So now I had a good idea. I said, you know what will probably make this feel better? Let's bring my hands in a little bit closer. My hands they're not close enough, they should be closer. And that was a good idea. It made everything a lot more fun. Everything just hurt. If you see that smile, that's a guy that is a little tender and is enjoying himself. So now with these supersets, I would prefer, you know, as minimal break as possible. You know, so I think the rest between the setting up the camera from the first set, that was too long of a rest, you know, so I should have just done what I did the first time, kept the camera further back, you know, because it was too much of a rest for a superset. So I want to say this was my second or third set. After that, I went to push-ups, jumping push-ups, or as most of you know, they're flying push-ups. So now, back to that smile. Very tender guy, very tender. Now, this is how I like to do my jumping push-ups. I'd like to take, short breaks, maybe, 10 to 30 seconds in between each set, something like that. 3 to 4 reps is usually what I do. I try to be as explosive as possible, try to be as fast as possible. The reason why I'm only doing 3 reps at a time is because I'm trying to be as explosive, as precise as possible with those 3 reps. Right here I'm training power. I'm trying to be able to move my hands fast, be able to move my body fast. My theory behind this is the faster you can move your body, is the faster you're going to be able to hit on the table. Another thing is I started doing, as I'm curious, is a little experiment to see if I would notice anything, because recently, or always, I've been doing push-ups with a little bit of a little mat and then the concrete. Now I'm just doing it on the concrete. I want to see if I will notice any kind of carryover to the table, because now with these little impacts, the jumping push-up, my hands are hitting the mat, there's impact to the bone, there's impact to the joint. So now with the concrete, there's going to be a little bit more of an impact. So I'm curious to see if I notice if my hands feel stronger or harder, if anything like that, or they just feel denser. What made me think of that is one thing I noticed is when I started arm wrestling, I could feel, maybe it was in my head, but I could feel my, especially my arms and my hands get heavier. To me, it felt like the bones were becoming, denser. And now it wasn't like they're super heavy, but I could just feel it, when just like little things like hitting the bag, or just doing stuff like that, and the punches feel heavier and they feel harder, and not even trying to hit harder, they go faster, harder, and stuff like that, which is interesting. But I forgot to talk about these tricep extensions. We'll have to talk about them next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you around. Keep training hard.